Your story can change somebody's life. Did you know that? Did you know that a stranger needs your story? So many times we find ourselves afraid or reluctant or reserved to share ourselves and our experience. We are afraid to open up with other people. Why are we often afraid to other people? We're afraid to open up because, well, we don't want to be judged, right? We don't want to be criticized, right? A lot of times you don't even say what you really want to say, or you don't open up to people because you don't want to feel vulnerable. I'm here to tell you this. Your story can save a life. See, somebody like me grew up, parents were separated, saw them both. Wasn't a like traumatic experience, but I saw a lot of things. I saw, violence growing up. I saw altercations growing up. I saw struggle. I saw poverty. I saw lack. I saw conflict. Like I was saying, I saw a lot of things. Like it wasn't just like, oh, blueberries and fucking raspberries and blue skies and fucking rainbows growing up where I was at and coming from. Small city, challenges, adversity. Growing up, yeah, regular childhood, sports, school. And I was grateful enough to have gone to a private school because my mom sacrificed her whole fucking check. You know what I'm saying? And my dad was there periodically contributing. But that shit doesn't matter. So many times we play the victim. We're so often just defining our current situation and our future based off of where we came from. And yes, it does matter. Your story matters. Use your story to motivate you, though. I saw my parents as much as they possibly could, and it was honestly a great time. I had a great childhood growing up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Graduated, both my parents around, supporting me. I had a lot of friends, but I always, knew that there was way more to life. I had very minimal, and I was, growing up, trying to get different jobs, working in the food industry, working at concession stands, Wendy's, pretzel stands, working at different offices, doing different odd jobs, just whatever I could to get a job and get some money. 16, first job, driver's permit. I was always anxious and ready for the world. Always wanted to advance and become better and get ahead. You know what I'm saying? We were doing some crazy shit though. I was kind of a rebel. We would do bad ass shit. We would, when you're one of the cool kids in school, you do some bad shit sometimes. You sneak out of the class or, you go to parties. I was on that. I was on that type of shit, man. We were going out, we were having fun, we were drinking, we were just having a fun time, celebrating life, and the YOLO type of life. And come, to college, same shit, going to college, going to parties. But I was so smart that it was just all easy for me. Like it never was a problem that I was going out, doing fun shit, getting crazy, because I was responsible to a degree. But I did catch my first case. At 17, I was selling marijuana, I was selling drugs. Whoa, okay. Back then, fuck, dude, that's over 10 years ago. That's crazy. It's like 15 years ago. Almost. Back then, marijuana was illegal in New York, and I had like an ounce of weed on me. And I was with this girl in the park. And, I'll never forget this girl, Jordan. She was, blonde, super hot chick. And, we were just at the park. Late night, we were at the park. I took her to the park. We were chilling. You know what I mean? At that time, I was selling weed to, friends, the community, etc. Not like on some, like, suspect shit, just kind of hooking people up with the good shit. Never really thought it was bad because everybody around smoked and they liked it, and it was just kind of a cool thing. It was up and coming. So I never looked at selling weed as a bad thing, but of course the law and the government did, and the police did. So when the police came, they were looking at my car, right? I'm sitting in the car, and it's after hours. I didn't realize at the time, should have paid better attention, that the fucking park was closed. It was probably like 10 p.m. at night, so it's dark. We're the only parked car in the parking lot. Cops pull up, drive up. We're in the car chilling, not even smoking. Not even, the weed isn't even out. The weed is in the glove compartment, right? But we're chilling. I'm chilling, probably hooking up, with a girl and just talking, whatever, flirting. And next thing you know, cop pulls up, gets out of the car, and he goes up to the driver's windshield flashlight. He's like, Roll the window down. Okay, cool. And then another cop. There's two cops. Come to the other side of the. Now he's in the passenger side. There's two cops looking. She's in the passenger seat. I'm in the driver's seat. We're parked. There's two cops, and we're like, chilling. But then he's like, okay, can you, explain what's going on? What are you doing here? The car's closed. Blah blah blah. Also, I need to see your license, registration, get the license. But then when I reach into the glove box to get the registration, lo and behold, there's a fucking 28 grams of some Blue Dream, which is potent weed, good ass weed. And the cop saw the bag. He saw the bag because I had to kind of get it out of the way. This is a long time ago. And he was just kind of like, "What is that?" And I was just like, "What is what?" And then next thing you know, I step out of the car, boom, 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 sees the bag, boom, I'm in cuffs. Cool, get sent down to this fucking cell. They do the pictures. I'm sitting there fucking getting humiliated, getting interrogated. They're like trying to figure out what I'm doing, why this, why that. They're writing me a case. The girl gets picked up by her fucking parents because the cops called them, her parents and stuff like that, and handle all that. So they separate her. I'm by myself, detained at the fucking cop facility station, filling out paperwork. They send me back. They take me back to my car that night. They said, okay, we're going to fill out the paperwork. We're going to get you in the system, thumbprints, all that stuff. And then we're going to take you back to your car. And you're going to go back to your car. And you're going to go home. So that night, I got brought back to my car. It's probably like midnight, 1 a.m., which was normal for me to come home at that time anyways, because I was always out at that time. So I get brought back to my car. And this whole time, I'm sitting there like, like in the cops, in the jail cell. Or, the holding cell. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, damn, like, fuck, I fucked up. Like, I'll never fuck this up again. Like, I got caught. Like, at that time, I had felt so defeated because I got caught by the system. I was so worried about what my mom was going to say. I thought she was going to be so disappointed in me. I thought my life was going to be over. I thought my reputation was going to be over. I thought that my record was going to be fucked up. All this shit. I'm 17, mind you this. I'm still, like, I'm, like just graduated high school. You know what I mean? Or like the summer of graduating high school. So I'm like going into college. I'm like, is this going to, like, you know what I mean? So tons of different thoughts. Mind you, my family, no one even knew I was doing this. So for them, this would be a surprise. Now, moving forward, I'm in the jail holding cell. I'm like, damn, like praying to God, like, I'll never do this again. Like, just please help me get through this. Boom. Got back to the car. I'm driving home. Get home. I get back to my home. It's like 2 a.m. My mom's already asleep. I go upstairs, I fall asleep. The next morning, I wake up and I'm like thinking to myself, like, what do I do? I have this fine, this ticket that I have a criminal record, or it was like a criminal intent to distribute. So now I'm sitting here with this misdemeanor or some shit. I don't even know. I had to do all this research, figure out how deep the charge was. I'm like 17. You know what I mean? I had no money for this shit. I don't know. It's a legal matter. I gotta get a lawyer. I gotta figure out what to do. So I walked downstairs to my room was upstairs. My mom was downstairs. The next day, and I just kind of just straight up told her, like, I got arrested. Now, I don't tell you this story to make this sound cool, but I'm telling you that because there's going to be times when you go do some shit and there's a lesson involved. So the lesson here for me was like, you got to be smarter. You got to be smarter. Okay, I'm 17. A lot can fuck your life up if you make the wrong decisions. Now, gratefully, we got through it. I had to pay my own lawyer fees. I had to waste a whole bunch of time, waste a whole bunch of money, go to this clinic to, fucking like basically a rehab center, which is crazy because they were like, oh, you're chemically dependent on marijuana. Long story short. Okay, I made it through. Long story short, got through college. Bro, and I'm not going to talk too deeply on that, but the whole point is if you're going through something like that, just know there's somebody going through crazy shit. We're all going through adversity. We're all going through circumstances where we're like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this. When you're in those circumstances and times of uncertainty and you're like, fuck, God, you're praying for a miracle, right? You're praying for a sign. That's when God really taps in. That was one of the most significant moments of my life when I knew that God was real, in fact, because I could just tell. I was like, yo, like, God, please intervene. And worst case scenario, didn't happen. I was actually able to go home. I was able to clean up the case. I never even got a record. It was all straight. Just did like a little community service. I learned a lot through the process though, right? And I learned a lot about myself and becoming a man, etc. So I tell you that to tell you that, you're going to make mistakes in your life. We're all going to make mistakes in our life. A lot of times we're going to be risking things. We're going to be doing things and making decisions that could make or break you. So I pray that you make the right decisions because God forbid you make the wrong decisions. I've made, a lot of decisions that have gotten me to, good places. Also, decisions that probably shouldn't have been made. Right? I'll tell you guys more stories about that stuff later. I'll tell you more about that later. But the moral of the story here is that you have to be really aware of what you're doing. Okay? Because the more aware of what you're doing, the less mistakes you'll make. I probably, and realistically, and I thought about this every little time, like, you got to be pay attention to the nuances of life. Because had I not, put the weed in the glove compartment, maybe if I just had it in the trunk, none of that would have happened, right? You got to think smarter. Be very attention to detail is important, right? So when there's moments where you can fine tune something, or if you can make a better change, or if you can make something a bit more, safer or strategic, you got to do that, right? You can't get caught slipping. That's what this is all about. The more prepared you are, the less opportunity for you to slip, for you to fuck up, for people to intervene, for people to, kill you, hurt you, dismantle you, take you off your game, take you off your pivot, etc. You got to stay on point. That's what this is all about. So that lesson taught me that I need to stay on point. If you're not staying on point, you're going to get tripped up in the world. People are going to fuck you over. Women are going to fuck you over. Business is going to fuck you over, etc. But if you're on point, you're going to be on your P's and Q's, dotting your T's, crossing your I's. Then you're just going to be smooth, right? So that's what I learned through that lesson. My lesson was, damn, I got to be more on point. There's nothing cool about getting caught, but there's lessons to be learned, right? It means, damn, what could you have done better? What could you have done smarter? Or what could you have avoided doing? Now, granted, what I was doing was not legal at the time. I probably could have avoided getting caught. But it is what it is now. Fast forward to 2024, everyone smokes weed. Weed is legal on every street corner in New York and California, where I live now. So it's a goofy. It's all fugazi, matrix bullshit anyways. But I went through it. It was a challenge. It was adversity. I had a whole lot of shit going on, like on top of school and studies and just life and work and business and girlfriends. And at the same time, I was going through this bullshit legal case at a young age as a boy. So if you're a young boy, if you're a young man, maybe you're in your 20s, entering your 30s, maybe you have, a pending court case, like you're facing an eviction, or you can't pay your bills on time, or maybe you're just struggling, you're falling behind, or you're in a predicament that could be like detrimental or like reputation slandering or damaging to your future. Just pray through it, bro. Pray through it and look for the lesson to be learned. And if you got to pay something, pay it. Pay the dues, pay your dues, pay the costs. That's the down payment for becoming a man. That's the down payment for leveling up. That's the down payment for achieving the wisdom and obtaining the new perspective. Okay. As always, comment, like, subscribe. Link in the description. Start investing with Robinhood. Link in the description. Follow me on Instagram at Wealthy Westbrooks. And until next time, stay happy, wealthy, healthy, blessed, and focused on success. Man up.